will help you to finish it before next Sunday. Do you get it, Rami?
But did my eyes say something?
Yeah, your eyes. What's happening?
No.
No? Because like we are together in this and we want to like that you follow up as soon as possible, and this hopefully this works. So make smaller chunks of the homework and hand it in on time.
And if you need help, please ask.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is nothing wrong with asking. Like, we are happy to help. That's why we are here, actually, right?
Yeah. So one question each. Everybody needs to ask at least one question per week in the Slack.
Woo!
At least one question in class. Yeah? So that's not too much. 2 questions per week. One in class and one in Slack channel. Yes? Because, and then last note for this module, if you make your homework, if you put a lot of effort in, Roxanne and Cecile, she's also grading homework. Last time they did a great job and they put so much effort in reviewing the homework. So please also put some effort in the homework itself. Because like, how more effort you put in, how more feedback you get on it. Last thing, as you already noticed, Hassan is not here today. He has some personal issues and he will take a break. I tried to say to him, please follow this course with this class, but technically he's doing very well, but personal life is not so well, so please give him a message like, okay, good luck, and probably he will join class 24, but he needs some break. Thanks for your time.
And speaking about questions, the one who's gonna ask most interesting question gonna get a beer from me, personally. Yeah.
A lot of them don't drink beer. So.
A cup of tea. I'm gonna make a coffee for you personally.
Good. Okay.
Right. So, good people of class 23. Now we should start with practical thing, and I really want to know who's prepared and who's not. Who's got answer 2 for connection test.js? Yep. The rest of people. Let's do something. I'm gonna help someone assistants, please also do help, because we really need to get it up and running, right? Who needs help?
You already have it.
Roxanne.
Yeah, I'm helping him.
User guys.
Yeah, it's everything.
Yeah, all right. I just gonna chill here and like wait till everything is done. All right.
I'll come to chill with you.
Prima.
You guys also have MySQL workbenches right now.
It's also a good idea if you show
How to have physical ways.
how to do the single
Yeah.
table and insert before the JavaScript.
Right. So. Probably it's like this.
No, not in the various thing. Like just on the terminal.
Just. Oh, cool.
No, not problem.
You use either or terminal, whichever.
I just use this one because should be fine. Is it? Oh man, it's multiple.
The developer.
Should be in the
One is fine. So.
okay, now maybe use that to also create all the user identity because you haven't created.
I do have.
HYF user?
I have user DB.
No, not database. You're using user, HYF user.
No,
Because, yeah, So if this works for you,
Mhm.
fine, then you can just demo with this. And then for students, we have to tell them to change user to H5 user and password to H5 password because that's in the setup H5.
Yeah, but it's gonna be done right now
Yeah.
for everyone else. What I need, I just need to have a connection, right? And they also need. And if they get answer from connection test,
Yeah.
oh,
Type MySQL.
yeah, everything works, and for them, everything gonna work as well.
Yes, but when you show create create.js, say for example create table or something, then I mean this will be too confusing for them. So what I'm saying, if you go back to the terminal and do create table here first to show them what create table does.
You mean like
Like if you go back to the repository and like the same basic syntax of create table, like creating a very simple stupid table. And then showing the JavaScript client and then back and forth, doing the insert from the MySQL
so
command.
they're gonna learn first from terminal, and then they're gonna see how it works in JS, right?
Yeah, because in JS program, if they have other errors, then they will concentrate on that part more.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, okay.
Increase the size slightly. This one can go.
But this is just a placeholder. Exactly. Just try root
Now you are
space dash p.
All right. And then I show this how it works, right?
same connection code.
Yeah.
No, just try
Okay, so you can.
And now you can enter and then
So now you can do db.
I haven't worked with this like for years.
yeah.
Yeah, you can see here as well. Now if you type in MySQL, no, I think it's probably in the path. So if you just type MySQL or just
What kind of database do you use? UserDB. All right.
Maybe also I don't know if they created one, but they should create database.
Yeah. All right. Since
It's probably so it hasn't added to the path. So if you exit from here and type which SQL, you can later add it to the path.
So now here you can put like select everything.
And if you type which
The MySQL.
or where MySQL,
Yeah, but you
which try to
you don't know.
space MySQL.
For example,
Hmm?
like
no, just wait for the start of the demo. If you are done, you just can sit down and relax with me.
One question, by the way. This one question.
Yeah.
So you're ready to
Oh, you have to do better than just by asking about MySQL.
You can create a new user, you can create a database, you can do everything from this launch.
Okay. Yes.
So it's MySQL
Now,
dash view,
as you
the
saw,
user,
can
dash
can
p
show
for
the
it
table.
to ask
Yeah.
for password.
Okay.
Create table
Now,
also.
this is what I can create.
No.
Yeah, you can create
C is MySQL. You can also C.
Yes.
Yeah. Semicolon. Just semicolon.
Just simple.
Yeah, because this what means is like you can continue writing this
Yeah.
thing
Okay.
until the semicolon.
Now.
Okay, so you
Now
need
you
to
have a
dash.
database called UserDB.
You need to MySQL.
If you want to
space
use that
dash
database, you type use space and UserDB.
I understand now.
Yeah.
Okay. forget it everything. Just tell me.
Yeah, we need the whole
First,
part, I think.
I open this
Press enter.
computer. How can work on
Press
my
space.
Video recording.
But that's what he was doing.
Okay.
Space
For now, we just want to have the environment set up.
Okay.
You can type commands, so
JS.
see,
Okay.
he will explain everything.
Okay, so now I think I
That's
need
great.
to DB list.
Wi-Fi.
Try DB space list.
Can I use my terminal inside my
First, put a colon. Search.
or git that?
Semicolon is allowed. Intended.
Create table.
Yeah, sure. Sorry, show table. You are not allowed to do this.
Underline or you can
What is that?
Yeah, keep going.
Just enjoy your free time.
May I use it for my,
It's a good time for questions. Do you have any questions?
When you say you are not allowed, you have the authority, you know?
Huh?
Okay.
You have the authority to say you are not allowed.
And this command is like actually there to verify what's actually.
Okay, so now we get.
So did you actually upload on the phone or not?
Okay, that's
Yeah.
So how would MySQL anything connects to the MySQL?
I think everyone is ready now.
Woo! Let's get started.
For me, it's okay. Okay. Just for you because I tried to do it myself,
So
but I
Windows
failed.
and
So
like,
okay, you have to okay.
Boys.
I will try to.
using quotes. So you can see it over here.
Okay, people, shall we start? Does everyone have answer to? Yeah?
You'll need this later. So
Right. First I'm gonna show how to do queries with a command line interface, right? And then I'll show you how to work with a JavaScript client. So basically, we're gonna have look at three types of clients. We're gonna do first command line, because command line is everywhere and it's just very useful. Second, we're gonna have a look at JavaScript client. And third, we're gonna look at this client with like visual interface, and we want to see all our data there and all our tables and rows we inserted in our database and stuff like that. All right. First you need to open your terminal and connect to MySQL. How do you do that?
All of you already have done. So the MySQL command line client.
Yeah, you have it open and you have connected to MySQL, right?
Yeah.
How did you do that?
MySQL -u root and -t.
No, probably you don't have root user, right?
Also,
You're supposed to use hack your future user. Hack minus you root. It's my computer. You have your different users, and according to the manual, you're supposed to have hack your future user.
But for the Windows machines, they cannot use it because they will just start MySQL command line client from the My Programs,
Oh,
and then they will just have the prompt. But that's fine. When
All
they
right.
run the JavaScript client, they will use HYF user and HYF password, which you have created, all of you.
but now everyone sees this MySQL prompt, right?
yes.
Like MySQL and the sign and just invitation to enter commands.
supposed to use root.
Don't worry how you reach there, but as long as you can type the command and see the databases, it's fine.
Root, yeah.
All right, imagine you have a new server, you just set it up, or you just get credentials from your system database administrator. You are at a new work, at new place, in the new office, right? And you just have no idea what to do. You just have your MySQL prompt. First thing you want to do, like, let's have a look what kind of databases there are, right?
Yeah.
So what you can do, show databases.
Yeah.
If you enter now, nothing gonna happen because we have delimiter, and delimiter is the semicolon. It means the end of the command. When you do it like this, bam, you're gonna see all the tables.
Yes.
Show databases semicolon. Semicolon means you are done with entering command and you are pressing enter and the command is done. Cool? Does everyone see UserDB?
Yes.
Yeah, it's there? Cool. What can we do to use this database? Like we have many databases and we're gonna make query against some of the database, and we want to make sure which one we use. So we use UserDB with semicolon. Oh, yeah, my mistake. UserDB. Does everyone see this message? Database changed. Yeah? So now we for sure have changed the database. What's next level? We have like server, right? We have databases on the server. What's next? Tables, right? We have tables in every database. What do we do to see the tables?
Create table.
Ah, show table, cool. But not table, but tables, right? Does it look right, this command?
Yes.
Yeah, semicolon is missing. Sharp.
Sure.
So what do we see here? It's empty set, right? What goes wrong?
No table.
Tables.
Yeah. Apparently it's empty database, right? Nothing is there.
Yeah.
So we might want to create a new table. This is where we're gonna start. How do we create tables? Well,
Create table.
we have a command, create table, huh? How do you like it so far? It's very human-oriented, right? Like show databases, use database, show tables, create table. So far it's understandable, right? And it's quite easy to remember.
It will get worse.
It will get worse.
We expect that.
So the syntax is like this. I copy-pasted it, but you have to type. It's not quite fair, but I didn't promise anything. So first we have create, then we specify what we want to create, table, right? Then the table name goes. Teachers.
It's filled. Now you have to set the field. Variable field, right? Yes.
Yeah. Create table teachers, and then details go. In the round brackets, you specify what exactly you want to see in this table. And in this table, we specify. Probably we have to wait for... No worries, you just say when you are done.
So you don't have a user table, but anyway, that's fine. You can create a new table called I can't see.
Nobody has tables so far, right? We are just working on it. We are creating these tables.
Yeah, because my skill wasn't installed in so I just installed it. It's the same thing. It's
I follow this ego.
Huh?
Semicolon.
Semicolon at the end? Sharp, sharp, guys. Cool.
What is this text?
Just press enter and then type semicolon on the next line.
I want to do it like this. Right. is everyone here? Like everything's fine, right? Who wants to explain me this query? What's happening in the round brackets, in parentheses?
You create a table.
Yeah, create table. What goes in the round brackets? Yeah. Teacher number, what's that?
Say teacher.
Number, integer number.
Teacher number, what teacher number? Is it like a name of the column, or it's like a table name, or I don't know, data type?
Just index.
It's field.
No,
It's a column field.
It's column.
It's column name, right? And type of the column?
Integer.
Yeah. We don't have integer and in round brackets 11, right? We just specified integer here, which defaults to integer 11, like we saw there, right? Remember data types I shown you. So then goes teacher name. What's teacher name? It's one. Teacher name itself. It's the name of the column, right? Yeah, it's gonna be one more column next to teacher number, right? And varchar 50. What's that?
50 characters.
Yeah, that's right. And here we specified 50 to make sure nobody has name longer than 50 characters. Date of birth.
Another column.
One more column, and the type is date. Subject.
Another column.
Some explanation inside.
Text. What's text? Data type, right? How long is it?
254. But it's varchar.
No, it's a tricky one. So
String without an limit.
it's quite unlimited.
Wow.
Yeah, so you use text for very long fields. For example, you can imagine creating a blog application, right? Where you have blog title and like blog posts, and posts have a title and have text of the actual post, right? And when you don't know how long will it be, you just make it text.
So why you use varchar? The same idea.
Varchar, because we know for sure that names aren't quite long. It's not very long. And varchar is more memory efficient than text. Maybe we have to talk about this slightly more, because text field also supports maybe not. So if you are not sure how long this field will be, you just use text. But it's not very memory efficient, and you want to be very careful with that. Okay. Then goes gender. Gender is
Column.
one more column, right?
Type of enum.
Type of enum. What possibilities are? Male, female. Okay. So we just pressed enter, and we see that query okay, 0 rows affected. But after this query, we're supposed to see the table created, right? In our database, which we use currently. How do we know if it was created? Yeah. It's there. Quite cool, right? Mm-hmm. Everyone sees that, right? So far, what have we done? We connected to MySQL, right? We selected the database. we created a table and we checked the list of existing tables. We've done it with using a command line interface. Command line was a client for our MySQL server. Let's have a look now how can we do it with JavaScript. What's happening here in JavaScript? Everyone has this script, right? Create table.js it's called. Let's go line by line and we'll see what's happening here in this script. First, we have require MySQL. What does it mean? Yeah, it's a module, it's a package for Node which gonna talk to MySQL, right? It's basically programmatic client for MySQL. This is JS client. Then we have to use this package, make a use of it, right? What do we do here?
So we assign the function. So next method mouse to create to assign the method.
We are not assigning a method here. We call this MySQL client, right? And we call create connection of this module, right? So basically it creates connection to MySQL using these parameters, right? We are connecting to localhost to our local instance of MySQL. Most probably at your work, it's not gonna be localhost, it's gonna be some remote instance. So you're gonna have IP address here. Then goes user. What do you see in this field at your computers? Yeah. I have it intentionally different because of I want to show you the difference. That I have different setup. At work, you're gonna have different setup. At home, you're gonna have different setup. And you're gonna use different users with different passwords, right? Then goes database. Any ideas what this line does? Inside of this package, right? What's happening if we specify database?
Making the connection to that specific.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it just literally says use userdb because we just established connection to the server. In the server we have multiple databases, right? And we do something like use userdb, but the package does it for us. We just have to specify what kind of database we want to use in this connection settings, right? Clear so far?
Yeah.
Nice. I'm gonna skip so far this part, but okay, let's have a quick overview. I already said that MySQL server can be located remotely, right? And we're gonna access it by different IP address. And for example, it can be located in Helsinki. It can be located in different places with different time zones. So you want to specify it because of you sit here at in Amsterdam with time zone +3, I believe, right? +1, right? In Russia, it's +3 or something like that. So if you're gonna make query like give me all the records with this time interval, here in Amsterdam, it will be very different time that they're in the server. So you want to set this time zone for MySQL server, so time zones match, right? So you have the same time here like on the server. That's why you do this. And also it can be set up globally, but you shouldn't think about this so far. So we have a module here, we have created connection here, and here we actually connect. So like we've done all the preparations, we installed the module, we did the configuration, right? And we just connect now. After this line, we already have a connection. Here goes the query. And with this query, we set up the time zone, like I discussed before. The query itself is just a string. MySQL parses the string and understands what to do. It's basically just like one more programming language, right? Like JavaScript, but for MySQL. It's one more language. We want to send this query using this connection we just created. We say query. We call this method query. We specify the actual query. And we assign a callback function, which accepts error parameter, and it logs some information. Right? So far it's clear? When the query will be executed, the callback will be called. And we're gonna see this line. When you make such a kind of scripts, you want to end the connection at the end of your script. Why people do this? Because of if we have multiple users running the script, for example, I gonna run the script, Ezra gonna run the script, Unmesh gonna run the script, and we're gonna create 3 connections. And if we never close them, they're gonna stay alive. It's gonna be like zombie processes it's called in Unix system. They're gonna stay alive, but they're not gonna do much. They're gonna just stay there and consume the memory, nothing good. That's why we usually call end at the end. Usually, all this connection part and close connection part is being done somewhere outside of your not application, but the part you work on. Are you familiar with bootstrapping application? No? Basically, the connection will be created for all of your controllers and actions. No, do you understand it now?
Doesn't make sense.
No, doesn't make sense at all. All right. So you just have to remember, create connection, make query, close connection. All right?
Yeah. Okay.
Clear so far. And here we have a different query, create table teachers. It's exactly the same query like we've done here. We run it. We have function of callback, which gonna output created. Once it's created, and we end the connection. Let's try it. Can you predict outcome of this query? What's gonna happen?
Throw an error.
Yeah, it's gonna create a table, but so it's gonna throw an error. We cannot
Not
have.
right now.
Yeah.
It's already created. Yeah, it will.
Let's try it. So we have this
Already.
time zone is set, time zone is fine. But here goes the second query. Table exists error. Table teachers already exist. let's remove the table. How do we do that?
Remove, maybe.
Drop.
Drop table.
No, I just drop it. What?
You need to name the table correctly.
Oh, teachers, yeah. Mama. Yep. Let's try to run the script again, right? Will it work this time?
It will create, it will log the message.
Bam. Time zone is set and the table is created. Let's have a look at this.
No,
It's not working.
drop. No, you haven't used it. Just drop table.
Without the user.
Is he already using it?
Right? Does it work?
Yeah, it works now. I deleted it. No. What I kept away again, it's just the same, it already exists. But I already deleted it. Why is still there?
Wait, hang on. Do you have a problem there? It doesn't allow you to create one more table?
No. You are running the command to create table, right? So basically, by running this command, you create it.
Yes.
From here, you delete it, and here you create
I
it.
deleted here, so if I want to do it again,
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you can't run.
And now
So
you
now
can
you're
do
inside
that.
MySQL. You can't run, so you can have, you're inside the program, so you can run unique strategy. So only things like, drop table is renewal work here, but only MySQL commands work here. If you want to run bash or something, then you need to open another command prompt. So you're in a different environment now. So you're inside the GUI, you can't run things like, you can't run volumes. Only for select commands.
Give me a sec.
So if you want to run that one, you
And now you will run it
again. Click on this one. So on the side you can try.
Look, I have a different script. Look there. I have log created. I don't have anything like reply or something like that.
Result 0.
Yeah. Yeah. Come again.
Right now, it is created now.
Ah, it's JavaScript. Good point. You go to Hack Your Future repository, you make PR and send it to me. I approve it. Your code will be there. Oh, you're too smart for being a student. I see your point. Your point is fair, but this change needs to be made. It's just a test script, you know. It's not real life application. But I agree, it might be led.
Because some instructors say so, maybe we'll get confused.
Yeah, true.
Okay, it's okay now. And the password?
Drop table.
So people, how you doing there? Hey. Wanna have a look further? Yeah? Shall we proceed? All right. we just used command line client, right? We just used JavaScript client. And the graphical client, I use this one, but I cannot zoom it further.
Yes, you can.
How would I do that?
See?
Yeah, I zoomed it a little bit for you. So basically, what do we have here? We have MySQL server. It's located at localhost,
Just no.
User DB.
and the database is userdb. You might have a different client. It might look something different, but it's gonna output the same information somewhere in different place because it might be a different client, right? And here you have tables, and here you have little fancy one, teachers.
What's the program for?
It's for Mac. It's called Table Plus.
Is the
What's the name of the table plus?
It's free, but it's free with some limitations. If you
use the free version?
Yeah. I want to save some money for beers, you know. So here we have. You can install it actually right now.
Just remind me the name again.
Huh? Table Plus. So here you see all these columns you created. Even I don't see it. Teacher number, teacher name, date of birth, subject, and gender, just like we created, right? And you can switch here to see the structure. And here you're gonna see all these data types. Remember we created int field, right? But we didn't specify 11 in the round brackets. It defaults to 11 because it's the cheapest in possible. That's what MySQL thinks, and it does it for us. Then we have teacher name of varchar. Then we have date of birth of type date. Then we have subject of type text and gender with enum. Do you already use some sort of graphic clients? No, graphic user interfaces. All right, it's gonna be your homework because it's. No, I mean like you didn't know about that before, right?
Yeah.
You just learned it today,
Yeah.
so you learned something useful, huh?
Yeah.
Cool. You're gonna install it and you're gonna use it because of it's way nicer to look in nice graphic user interface and at these console commands. Who likes that? How do you see table structure in command line interface? So far you can see this is a table, but you don't know what kind of fields are there inside, right?
Described, you said this should be described.
Oh, yeah. I love doing typos. Describe. You describe table. Right? It's basically the same information in command line interface, just like we see here. Same fields, same data types, and stuff like that. So we might want to look closer to this information. We have field, right? Field name, it's quite clear. Then we have field type, it's also right. What's nice about this field, we also see possibilities of enum, available options. Then we have this. What is that?
Null. Field can be empty.
Yeah, that's right. So basically, when you try to insert something to insert some row, we're gonna look further at this. Teacher number, teacher name, and all the fields, they can be null. So basically you can insert null, 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 and you're gonna have empty row. It's some sort of validation which MySQL does for you. We're gonna, if we have some time, we're gonna look at this closer, but what you want to know, MySQL can validate insertion for you. Just like with enum, remember we spoke that if you try to insert gender X, it's not gonna work. MySQL will throw an error, right? So if while creating a table, you specify that field shouldn't ever be null, shouldn't ever be empty, MySQL will do this validation for you. In some cases, it's useful. This field, it says if the field participates in a key. Remember composite keys?
Yeah.
So if I don't know, teacher name participates in composite key, it's gonna be described here in this column. Default.
If it doesn't specify any input, it's better.
Yeah.
This null yes is coming from that side.
Huh?
There is here the one side is null. The all of yes. It means it's already default null.
Yeah, it's slightly different. I see your point. Yes, these two fields are related. So basically, what you can do, you can say that teacher name shouldn't be null. So you're gonna see no here. And in default field, you might specify banana. So every
You should do. You have to do that, or
so look, if you insert a record and if the teacher name is empty, it's gonna substitute a default value. And if we insert teacher with like all the parameters, but we don't specify the name, we specify null there. MySQL gonna see like, all right, let's apply the default value. And this teacher name will be banana. All right? And extra field, we're not gonna touch this so far. All right, so far it's clear. We know how to create table, don't we?
Yeah.
Cool. Once we have table created, we want to insert some values there, right? Because we created it for a reason and we want to insert some stuff there. I prepared this query already, and you have to do it yourself. So what we do here, we have insert into. Insert means we are inserting some rows or values there. Teachers. What does it mean? What it comes from? Yeah, this is a table name where we're gonna insert it, right? Values. Yeah, it can be integer, text, or date, or whatever else. But what is this like logically in this round brackets? What is this?
It's the
it's stable.
a row
Yeah,
recorded here.
a row in tables in table teachers, right? One more record it's gonna be.
A record.
Yeah. So here we specify how exactly will it be inserted? Do you see that I specify here columns or something? I don't specify columns, right? How will it be inserted then?
It will insert with the be specified when we create the table. It will take the first one to the teacher number,
Mm-hmm.
Igor to the teacher name,
Yeah.
with the same
So
sequence.
it's gonna do it like respectively to like remember how we created fields, right? It's gonna insert field by field. Yeah. Yeah, just like that. Let's try it.
Is enum case sensitive?
Is enum case sensitive? It's a tricky one, huh?
Maybe.
I don't know. I have to check manual. Probably it is. Ah, let's try it, right?
Yeah, we can also try.
Oops. Ah, look, it's not.
Is it case sensitive?
Um,
Case sensitive, the difference between capital and small n?
Are you talking about the command or about the values?
The value, between two brackets.
Ah, these are your values. You insert there whatever you want.
Oh, you do that.
Yeah, but the command itself, it's not case sensitive. You can do it like insert into in small letters, right? And also you also can do it like that.
Is it- okay.
And yeah, and you can continue, and it's gonna be inserted, and it's just fine from the point of view of MySQL. Okay, so we have the row inserted, right? And that's how we do this. Let's have a look at our script. Let's go from the start. We saw it somewhere already, right?
Yeah.
We require this module of MySQL for Node.js, right? What we do here? Yeah, creating connection with.
You know, she gave right answers, but I never heard it.
Yeah.
Me too.
Ezra, speak louder. Just do it, all right? Just scream a little bit. So we create connection with what parameters?
Yeah.
The database connection.
Yeah, host. What does it mean?
It's the server of the database.
Server of the
MySQL.
database. It's gonna be IP in real life, right?
Or ID.
Yeah, user,
Password.
password, and
The database.
the database to use, right? Remember how it works? Use
The-
userdb, right? Cool. Connecting, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
starts.
And here it goes, the interesting part. Insert queries. What do we have here? We have an array, right? So you can insert multiple rows at the same time. Quite cool. You have this query just like we did here, right? But we can
Ninety-two. 92. 19 September.
ugh. Gonna be 0101, sorry.
Okay.
Because I can't remember the number of September.
9.
Just 11 September. And to be-
Yeah, 19.
Woo. What kind of work you gonna do?
14.
And now Ahmed is like, why am I even learning these databases? I'm gonna do front end, boys. and mail, right? So we go, after execution of this script, we're gonna see two records.
1 second.
Mm-hmm.
I have already created Igor and
Mm-hmm.
that will throw an error.
And now we want to take a look at the data structure.
We don't have any private key.
So remember, like we discussed ID and composite keys, right? ID is like primary key, and key is like key can be composite key, right? If we have something like this in place, it's going to be specified in key column, and key column is empty, which means it will not cause any mistakes, any errors. From MySQL point of view, it's going to be like, all right, whatever, duplications and duplication, let's do it. Huh?
Igor twice. And
Yeah, it's gonna be 2 Igors and 1 Ahmed.
Okay.
Just like that. So what goes next? You know JavaScript, right?
Why you use var here?
Yeah, that's right. Because it's not my JavaScript. I'm just
You
looking.
need to update it.
Make a PR. Make a pull request and I'll approve it. If you are so smart.
It's an object. Yeah. Let's in.
So we have a loop here, right?
Yes.
What does this line do?
Just logs the current item in the array.
Yeah, this one gonna output the query which is going to run, right? This one?
Starts the execution of query.
Yeah, it just executes the query, right? And passes the result to the function, to the callback function, like, yeah? Throws an error or just says reply is whatever it's gonna be there. This line, what is this line?
Close the connection.
Why would we do that?
After
From zombies.
Yeah, good one. That's how you remember it. Cool. Right, shall we try the script? Ooh. Insert values, not async. Alright. Oh, the reply is undefined. Cool. So probably we inserted two people in the table, right?
Yes.
According to what JavaScript says us. How do we know if it's true? We want to select to get some records from the table, right?
Show tables.
Show tables, yeah.
And table.
What's next? Yeah, but describe tables, it shows us the structure, not the records, huh?
It's hard to show details.
From where?
teachers.
Teachers, yeah.
We have to write it.
Huh?
We have to write uppercase.
Yeah, just to show you that MySQL don't care much about the case. So what do we see here? We have select statement, right? With select, you basically say like, get us something. MySQL return us some result. This asterisk thing, it comes from regular expressions. You know that? Regular expressions, no? So, never mind. These asterisks mean everything. Like everything. from.
Select everything from.
Select everything from teachers. Basically, return us whatever you have. If it's gonna be like 9 billions records there, it's gonna return. You're gonna get tired at looking at this return thing. What can we do here? We can replace asterisk with what's gonna do?
Just the names of the records will be returned.
Mm-hmm. But will it return 2 Igors and 1 Ahmed?
Yes. Because it's not distinct. We didn't-
What are you doing in this class, huh? You're too smart for it. And what if I want to return also subject? Can I have something like teacher name and subject and maybe gender? Or I can specify only one field? Oh, subject, right? Cool. It's good enough so far. We just inserted with command line tool, right? This is how we executed this query. We also executed couple queries from JavaScript client. Let's have a look at our fancy visual tool. So we are getting here, we are refreshing, and here we have 2 Igors, 1 Ahmed, and all this kind of information, just like we have seen in command line tool. So my point is, you can execute the same queries from JavaScript, from command line, and you're gonna have the same results, right? Because server is one, many clients. Is it any clear so far? Yeah? Yeah? What's happening there?
I'm just facing small problem with the JavaScript file.
What is this problem?
Throw an error.
Ah, typical.
It is class 17. Yes, it's not a big same class. And on that base class 17. We need to update the class. Yeah, see, it's a very still yeah. Sorry, thanks. Database. Database. Blah, blah, blah. Thank you. And password. So, same password. Okay. We only require to build the JavaScript. Sorry?
Come again.
We also require to build this JavaScript to read the database.
Yeah, probably you're gonna need to do something like this for your to-do application, right? Yeah. You're gonna need to install this MySQL module. You're gonna need to make the connection. You're gonna need to execute the queries. You end the connection. This kind of stuff, right? But it shouldn't be the problem. You also should design the tables for that, like entities, like we discussed here, right? With all these different kind of relations. This is gonna be your homework probably. Right? Everything is fine, shall we continue? Right. The next one is going to be about asynchronous. How do we make it asynchronous? Because so far, everything what we've done is just like send the query and wait for callback, and the function it's asynchronous in a way, but not for real. Let's have a look at this script. Asynchronous create, right? What is this util module?
Asynchronous?
It's built-in modules to Node.
For Node? To do what?
A built-in module in the Node.
But what exactly does it do?
We can use Promisify from it to
Uh-huh.
make callbacks promise.
So basically it's for creating promises, right?
Yeah.
You know what's promises, right?
Yes.
You worked already.
Trying to deal with it.
Cool. I still haven't changed this file yet, so in my case it's gonna be user db, and we have some sort of constant here which says util promisify, and we are binding connection. All right. So we have function seed database. What does it do, you think?
Create table.
Mm-hmm.
That's students. Yeah, with the whole columns.
Uh-huh.
Each the table. And we have 5 columns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We see some ints here. We see varchar again. We see date again, right?
Yeah.
What's new? We see float. Great.
Note.
It's floating point.
Yeah. What's float? What's float?
Decimals.
It's basically like 10.5, for example. This is float. Because integer it's just 10. A float stands for float point. Point can be like
Decimal, you mean?
decimal, yeah.
Yes.
So we have this old school enum stuff, right? But also what we see here, this kind of statement, if not exist, right? It's something new because we haven't seen it before. It creates table only if table isn't there. Remember our first script, right? We had this error that teacher's table is already exists. But if we have this prefix, it will go there. All right, the table is there. We just skip this whole query and we'll proceed with the next one. This is what's gonna happen. But what's gonna happen if we have different structures? For existing table, right? We have like teacher's table already. We have it, right? And if we have here new field, text, whatever. This table has one more extra field, the one I just added. Will this field be added to existing table? What do you think?
It will throw an error because same name. Same.
No, it's not gonna throw an error because of if not exists.
It will not do anything.
It exists, but missing some column.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. If you want to.
Well, the tricky thing, this field will not be added. This field will be ignored. All the difference between old table and new table will be ignored. We're gonna keep only old table, and execution of query will stop here. It's not even gonna look at this part. If we have this statement in the query, it's nice to have it. It won't throw an error, and our SQL query will continue execution, right? But also, it's not nice because of if this query has some differences to original table, the difference will be ignored. You'll never know about it.
But it's kind of to prevent any troubles later on. So
Explain me.
The tables in database, it's supposed to be kind of not to change it.
Yeah, that's right. And also, if you want to change the table, you don't do it this way. You have a separate command called alter table teachers, and then your command goes. Oh, terrible auto-completion. Let's forget about it. So if you want to be careful with that, and you want to know what to do, all right? If you create table, you create it, it's fine. But if you want to change it by adding new field or change some data types of some fields, you want to be careful and use different query. Nice. Then we have a different thing. Basically, it's an array of JSON objects, right? How does it look like? To me, it looks like a data for the first table, right? We have a matching field, student number, student name, date of birth, grade, gender. Student number, student name, date of birth, grade, and gender.
Records.
Yeah, those are basically records. This is the structure for the table. And this is the data for the table. So, let's have a look at the script. So far, we've been talking about the database, right? Database stuff like structure, data. But let's have a look at the script.
Execute query.
First we connect, then we do try catch statement. What does try catch do? Come on, shout loud.
It tries to execute the commands between try, and if there is an error, it catches it.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, just trying to do some stuff, and if some exception is thrown during execution in this try section, it catches it, right? Then we have await. What's this await thing? Uh-huh.
If we don't use the await, the promise is not executing, it is pending. Without the await.
Yeah.
It is helping to execute the async function.
Yeah. But what if I remove this await here?
It will not.
It will wait for pending.
Yeah, it will. Pending. It will start.
Web page will or node will wait for pending.
It will not execute the function.
Or it will be throw an error.
No, it will say it won't work.
Yeah, it won't work.
Actually, we are trying to consume the promise, because if we drop the await from that statement, it will go to the other statement before consuming the promise, and the order will not be mismatch for what we want here.
Yeah, I think you are right, and this is, I would guess, I'm not a big JavaScript expert, not like you guys, obviously. Because you are the bosses, you are learning like JavaScript, you know, not me. But await says, I'm waiting, right? And with this await, it's gonna wait till this query is executed. And it stays there and wait till this query executed. Then the next line goes, one more query. And we're gonna wait for it as well. Then we're gonna start with students, and we're gonna wait after each student is inserted. Makes sense? I can guess why is it done like this. Because if you look at the sequence of queries, right? Here we create students table, and we want to wait till it's created, because later we are inserting data into this table, right? If we don't have await here, it means all the queries can be executed like randomly. Event loop of JavaScript, you know that?
Event loop, yeah.
Yeah, event loop. Yeah? Has it been explained?
Yes.
Right. So if we don't use await, event loop will pick up all the queries as fast as possible. And for example, if creating students table will take, for example, 1 second, and insertion query will take 0.1 second, insertion will be executed faster before the table is created. Right? Makes sense? And what happens when we insert into non-existent table? It throws, right? And it's nice because we have this try catch. We're gonna collect all those errors and show it to the user. That's why we use await here. First, we are waiting for table creation, right? Then we are waiting for teacher's creation for the table, right? And only then we insert user by user by user. I mean student by student. Make sense? And then obviously we close connection, because how would we live without that?
What is the set means?
Yeah, what is this seed database? Where it comes from?
This set and question marks inserted
Huh?
students in the query statement.
You have. Does it need to be explained?
No, it is a different way of the show values.
Yeah,
And
it's slightly different. So basically, this package MySQL for Node.js, it takes a JSON object and substitutes it in a magical way into the query. So every key, it's a column name, and every value, it's value of this column. And this MySQL package, it knows how to transform this JSON object into string. So we're gonna have something like this.
we don't have the representation of that string in the CLI part.
No.
Yeah,
No.
It is with the
In command line, you're supposed to, manually insert. It's command line, it's old school, and this is how it works, right? But JavaScript helps you with that. You just can specify this JSON object, and bam, it's gonna be transformed. Do you already know something about SQL attacks? What hackers do? No? SQL injection, all these kind of things, no?
No.
All right. I'm not gonna explain you this in details, but what options do you have right now about this? You can make a query like this with exact query and specifying student object, right? And letting this MySQL module of Node.js to transform this object to the query nicely. And also, second option you can compose the query yourself, just like we did for command line. You can manually specify this, but obviously instead of one, you're gonna substitute some variables from JavaScript. Okay? Which way should you prefer? As long as you don't know anything about attacks and security, I'm gonna tell you that this way is secure. Because of this package, it not only composes the query for us, it also removes all this, how is it called? Dangerous, malicious symbols from
user input.
From user input from variables. At the class 3, if there is enough time, we're gonna do some demo how you break MySQL and what is SQL injection and how hackers can get your data. But they can do it only if you don't use such a thing. So please learn, go to documentation of this package and investigate how it works, because it's important for you. You want to use it and you want to have your data safe. All right? Okay. What happens if we run this query? This script. Let's go one by one and let's see what's gonna be executed, what's not. So connection, will it be created? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
This thing also will be created because it's just the use of library, right? Students table, will it be created?
It will be created, yeah.
Why is that?
Because it doesn't exist before.
Yeah. It doesn't exist, so it will be created, right? Mm-hmm. What about this one?
Teachers, no. It will be denied. This one.
And what will happen?
We'll continue to the next stage.
Mm-hmm. Will error be thrown?
No, it's already exists. So
Yeah.
just
It will just skip it, right?
Yes.
Nothing will happen, and we are kind of safe here, right? Students, will ban be inserted?
This will be inserted to students.
Yes.
Command as say. Just call the row. What you call the row?
Hmm?
The row in the table. What you call it?
Row, record. Yeah, you can call it whatever you want. Everyone, yeah, honestly, everyone calls it in a different way. And MySQL manual, like official MySQL, like mysql.com, right? It's called, you won't ever believe that, but it's called tuples. Tuples.
Okay.
It's like, why on earth would you call it like that? Just, never mind. So it will be inserted, right? You think?
Yes.
Yeah, and the second one also.
The,
Students, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Why do you think so?
because we will try to insert them after creating the table.
Yeah, and yeah, the script itself, it's fine, right? We just walk through it and like investigated how it works. What if we drop a weight here? Maybe we should.
This table. Sorry.
A weight, shall we drop it?
No.
No? Just leave it, right? Okay. Just leave it be, alright. So let's execute this query and let's see what's happening. Node.
I see.
Something happened, right? Let's check what happened exactly. How do we know that?
Select. Select.
Select from what?
Students.
Select
How do you know if maybe it's not there?
show tables.
First,
Show
show tables, students.
Show table students?
Show
Yeah.
tables.
Right. Hey, it's there, right? What do we do next?
Let's
Select
table
asterisk from
from
Students.
Right?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Woo! Nice, huh? Let's check the data structure for the students table. How do we do that?
student number.
Describe?
describe
Student name?
Students.
So what do we have here? Yeah, seems like it worked, huh? Cool. Let's look at this graphic user interface, right? So far we have teachers here, only one table. Let's refresh it. Hey, students are coming. And we have two nice students here. What's nice about graphic user interface, you click on this enum and you see available options. You click on date of birth and you can pick the date with nice calendar. With this one, I don't know much. Like, you can do much with that. But, huh?
What if you choose no?
For what? For grade?
No, for example, for gender.
Let's try it. Bam! It's possible, huh?
throw an arrow.
Nope,
No.
it's not gonna throw error.
Default over there is no.
Well, by looking at this describe students, tell me why will it not throw an error?
Because this is the default value.
Mm-hmm. How do you see it?
It should can be no. We said yes.
Uh-huh.
So because of that,
Yeah.
we give no.
Yeah. Cool. Good explanation. Nice. So today we created two tables and inserted few rows here and there. No? I thought someone was knocking the door. Let's have a look what we missed. MySQL components. We spoke about like terminal, different clients, MySQL monitor. Oh, guys, I don't want to talk to you about that. It's you just stay away from it. Create table in MySQL. See, official definition of a table is it's a collection of rows and numbers, rows and columns. Yeah, it makes sense, right? It's just agreed. It's obviously rows and columns. You can call it collection, whatever. Types. You have int type, right?
Yeah.
Date, date time, and timestamp. Does anyone know what's timestamp?
Milliseconds.
Yeah, it's old school way to specify the date. It's basically amount of seconds from 1st of January, 12 o'clock of 1970. Yeah, it's quite a barbaric way to specify the date, but anyway, it's there.
Well, they create history anyway.
Yeah.
Simply.
I don't know. So I'll just tell you very quickly about this date type. It's blob. It's its abbreviation. It's Boolean object. If I'm not mistaken, much. It's for storing binary data in the database, and it means you can read the image in terms of zeros and ones and put it to the database as a big string, non-readable, non-viewable, and you have to retrieve it as a Boolean object, and then you can render it. Nobody does that. If you see blob somewhere in the database, you go to your manager and say, hey, this guy put Boolean object in the database. It's time to lower his salary. Nobody does it and nobody will.
Igor, little note, 10 minutes before we have to...
Yeah, I'm keeping track. We're just doing recap and everything goes nice, right? So, speaking about insert, right? We have this syntax insert into, then goes table name, then goes values, and we haven't discussed it yet because we inserted multiple rows like this, but actually it can be like that. So you insert this, and then you put semicolon. You see, this brackets, you basically say only once, insert into teacher's values, and then you have multiple rows of values. You can have them as much as you want.
And delete the line type thing. Yeah, you just show.
Huh?
And delete the line 15.
No, I just gonna command Z and that's it. I just had to show you so you know that you don't have to do it like that. You can do it in a different way, right? You just have to know it, but you are not forced to use it. So we also had a look at this select, right? We're gonna look at joins slightly later on the second lection, on the second class, because it's too complicated for this lesson and we don't have time for that. But we still have to look at where, and while looking at joins, we're gonna have a group, having, order by, and limit. But let's do some exercises here. So here I have two students. What happens if I need only one student? How do I do that? Remember when we started our lesson, we spoke how easy is it to retrieve records from the database, and why we have ID, right? Why we have keys there?
So could be selects ID, so student ID.
No, we want all the information about user, but we want to have information only about one user.
Just the one user or the user with have the student number.
No, not any user, but specific user. For example, Ben. I'm really curious about Ben.
So row 1.
Where the column equals something.
So we use the same query, right?
Where's student number?
Imagine I don't know student number. I know only student name. Yeah, it's Ben.
But if we have another.
Yeah, if we have multiple Bens, we're gonna have them all.
Yes. You have to know more specific.
Okay.
Yep. Is it clear? You basically select from students where student name equals Ben. But like we've been said, name isn't something unique. That's why we have a unique ID, right? And in our case, it's a student number. So how do I change the query to retrieve the user by student number?
Student number. Where is student number and the number?
Right?
No, I think.
Yeah, it worked.
We took it with the quotes.
Let's try. Quotes are necessary for strings, but for numbers, they are not.
For dates.
For date, it's necessary.
For date.
For date, yeah, and for date time.
Format,
Yeah. All right. Imagine we have like many records here in this table, like thousands, millions, or whatever you can think of, right? And we want to retrieve only like first 20. We can use limit 20. All right, let's try limit 1 so you'll see it works, right? And I'm not messing with you. Yeah, it works. See? But all right, having first 20 records is nice, right? But what if you want to see like 20 records from, I don't know, in the middle of the database, right? Somewhere. You can specify
20.
So basically the construction works like that. Limit and then goes offset, like how many lines should be skipped, right? And then how many rows should be shown. Got it? It's basically like pagination, right? Skip some part and show the other part. So see, with limit 1, we saw Ben, and with this query, we skip one line, which is Ben, right? And we show only one line about Henry.
So we skip 1, that's line 1 is gone. We need to show how many lines we play.
Yeah.
10, another 10, we can specify 10.
Yeah. Numbers are adjustable, you just adjust however you want it. Alright, the rest is for other class. Also for the other class. Uniqueness and keys, like we discussed, candidate key, super key, primary key. Yeah, I think we managed it, huh? I congratulate you, you survived this class. You survived this class. Databases is like extra boring subject for like extra boring. Only security is more boring. So folks, you enjoy the rest of the Sunday and good luck with your homework.
The homework will be done using the graphic